Hi everybody, and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money, where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. It is June and we are on the 6th installment of my 12 Months to Get Good with Money series. This series is a couple of bite-sized steps, one that you take each and every month to get good with money slowly. Let's recap the past 5 months and the past 5 goals that we've had to get good with our money. So in January, you started out by making your first budget. In February, you made some savings goals. In March, you separated those savings accounts. Please tell me you didn't skip that step. And you considered whether or not automation was right for you. In April, you made a plan for your taxes, whether you got a tax refund or ended up owing that year. And in May, you learned the general concepts about investing and did some research on your own situation and what accounts are available to you. Now it is June. We are about halfway through the year, and your goal this month is to actually create an investing plan, and if you're at that place in your investing plan, actually start contributing to an investment account. Now, remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm giving you generalized advice. If you are seeking advice on your specific situation, please talk to a certified professional, and I recommend a fiduciary. If you are just joining us for the first time, you need to go back and watch the other videos before you start getting into investing, because this is the big stuff. Now, because there are small steps, there's still plenty of time to catch up with these already. You could simply start with January's goal, but you're starting in June, or you could double up on some of these goals in an attempt to catch up, which should not be too difficult because, once again, these are bite-sized steps. So if you're somebody that can take on a little bit more, feel free to do that. So let's talk about how to create your investing plan. Step number 1, you are going to determine how investing fits into your current savings and debt repayment plan. I recommend prioritizing your emergency fund before you begin investing. So before starting investing, you have to make sure you are saving or have saved for a fully funded emergency fund and you are still able to meet those minimum debt payments. Then prioritize paying off any debt that is above 8% in interest. So we call this high interest debt. Typically it is consumer debt, although some student loans, depending on your servicer, may also be above 8%. So pay off that high interest debt first and then get started in investing. So let's recap those priorities. Number 1, you need to already be saving for a 3 to 6 month fully funded emergency fund and able to pay your debt minimums. Number 2, all of your high interest debt should be paid, so any debt with an interest rate above 8%. And then finally, it is time to start investing. So some of you may already be at this place already, and some of you may have to do a little bit of legwork, but you can still put a plan in place for when you believe you will be able to start investing based on how fast it's going to take you to reach those other goals. So if you have not started or finished saving for your emergency fund, if you have not finished paying off your high interest debt, you need to make sure you have a plan for that first, and then your investing plan goes into place after that is already done. Once you do have those two goals done, your emergency fund and all of your high interest debt paid, then you can start investing. So you will need to determine how much of your monthly income you can use towards investing goals. Maybe this amount will replace what you were already putting into savings and debt. For example, if you were paying $500 a month towards your high interest debt and now that debt is paid, you can start investing that same $500 a month in an investment account. Or if you were putting $250 a month into your emergency fund, maybe you're going to start investing that same $250 a month once the fund is fully completed into investing. So now I want to talk about some very common questions I get about investing to make sure you're totally clear on what this all means. The first question I get often is, how much do I invest? What's a good amount to invest? My answer for this is whatever you can, okay? If you can only free up $50 a month to put into an investing account, start there and up it as your income increases or you're able to lower your expenses. Now, for those of you who can spare it, 15% is a good rule of thumb if you're looking to retire around traditional retirement age, which is about age 60. If you are pursuing FIRE, you're probably going to attempt to invest more than 15% a month. I will link a calculator in the description of this video where you can kind of plug the numbers in and see how much you need to be investing to get to your goal retirement date. I also often hear the question, what if I can't invest as much as I want to, or even as much as I need to? If this is you, you are in a completely normal spot. Money management is only one part of the equation. Maybe you're keeping a budget, you followed all of the steps in this 12 months to get good with money program, and you still are unable to get that base investing amount. At a certain point, you may need to find a way to increase your income. If you're unable to invest enough to retire at traditional retirement age, or you're unable to invest enough in order to reach financial independence, then you likely have an income problem and not just a money management problem. The key is still to get started. Like I said, even if it's $50 a month, $25 a month, whatever you can invest, don't let it derail you that it's not exactly the amount you want it to be. Instead, build that habit and build that muscle memory for investing, even if it's not enough. Because you know what's worse than investing not enough money? Not investing your money at all. Start building that muscle, start building that habit, and start coming up with ways that you can increase your income, whether that is through negotiation, switching careers, picking up a side hustle, or any other means. You can also consider cutting your expenses, but I'm guessing if you've gotten to this point in the series, you're probably already managing your money and cutting your expenses a lot. Another question that's really important to talk about is what types of accounts you should use. This is something you probably should have started researching as part of last month's goal, so many of you may already have your answer for whether or not you want to prioritize your employer plan or your individual retirement accounts. But the short answer is this. You can use an account with your employer if they offer one. This is your 401k, or if you're a teacher like me, it's your 403b or 457b. This is a great option if A, you receive an employer match, or B, you prefer the money to be taken right out of your paycheck so it never hits your bank and therefore you can't just choose to spend it. You can invest up to $19,500 a year into these types of accounts. Those are the latest numbers I've heard. It is subject to change every year. And then another great option is to open up an individual retirement account, also known as an IRA. Some people call them an IRA, so you probably have heard of this before. You can do this instead of your employer account or in addition to your employer account. This is great if you're already investing in your employer account, but you have money coming in maybe from side hustles or in large amounts throughout the year. You can invest up to $6,000 per year in an IRA. And then of course there's a question of where can you open up an IRA? There are tons of accounts to open up an IRA with. And for me, it really comes down to the question of, do you want to actively manage where your money is being invested in, or would you rather give that job to a robo advisor? If you want to be a more active manager, you can use an IRA account through Vanguard or Fidelity, and if you'd rather do a more hands-off approach, you can use a robo advisor. There are tons of these. I think that you should look and compare robo advisors using NerdWallet and other websites like that, which compare them. I personally use a robo advisor because I don't want to have to actively manage where my money is being invested. Again, compare them, make sure you're taking a hard look at what fees are being taken out of your account regardless of where you're opening your IRA, because that is what's going to end up probably making the biggest difference when you really start to grow your money. So make sure you're getting the lowest fee possible with either your accounts through Vanguard or Fidelity or through a robo-advisor. I will say that personally I use SoFi, and you can get my referral link in the caption of this video if you're interested in that. I like it because it is a no fee investing option. So once you have made your plan for how investing fits into your savings and your debt goals, and you have decided which type of account to open, if you are at the point where you have your emergency fund funded and you have paid off your high interest debt, take the leap and actually open up your account and start setting up contributions. If you still feel lost or confused, take the rest of the month to do more research. Ask me questions in the comments of this video, send me a DM, do research on your own through Investopedia or by talking to somebody maybe at your company who is a rep for these programs. You should feel confident and prepared before you start investing and start taking action. But either way, you need to make a plan and hold yourself accountable. Investing is one of the greatest opportunities we have to truly grow our money. And so putting it off forever will not serve you. It is something that you must understand before you get involved in, but you can get to that point and you can understand investing and what you're investing in. It is not impossible, and in fact, it is something that you need to prioritize. Let me know in the comments what your investing plan is, whether you're just starting it with this video or you've had one in place before even watching this. Type up a comment, what do you do to invest each and every month, or what is your plan for starting that? Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the channel week after week. It means the world to me, and I hope that these 12 goals to get good with money are helping you guys take the small steps you need to become better with money slowly. Please like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel. All of these things help me so much and help me get my message to more and more people out there, and more teachers specifically who want to talk about money. Have an amazing week, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye.